Welcome back, guys. So more updates coming out from the camp of the Nigerian Super Eagles in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, and also one of the red hot topics right now is the foundation launch owned by Ekong. Of course, it's still in the same venue, the Gospel Akwa Stadium. But before I head into these updates, let me let you know that one of our key players, Ademola Lookman, who is obviously someone that we really miss right now in camp. But of course, I talked about it in the last video that Atalanta reached out to NFF that they wanted him to stay to play their last game of the season, which was today. Obviously, they played that game today against Fiorentina at home. And guess what? Lookman was the shining light of that match, as he had a goal and an assist in that game. Unfortunately for Atlanta, they lost that game 3-2. But Lookman showed his quality yet again, over again, and again we've seen him perform at the top level, for this club. Last game of the season, he also had a goal and one assist. He actually got the opener for them in the 12th minute and then assisted Scalvini in the 32nd minute. But it's such a shame that they later went on to lose that game. Personal the performance is also really top notch from Ademola Lookman. Even though he only played for 56 minutes of the game, he had some really vital contributions for that game. And now Atlanta, despite the loss, it didn't really affect their position in the table because they were already in the fourth position, which means that they qualify for the Champions League spot next season. But if they had won that one, they would have climbed top of Juventus and finished in the third position. But it's still something that is nice for them actually qualifying for Champions League. But this one is done and dusted. So yes, the expectation right now is that Lookman is going to board a plane, hopefully tomorrow morning, and then start coming back to Nigeria, where he will join the guys in Uyo camp, because the training is intense. I talked about that in the last video. Finidi and his crew obviously trying to get the best out of these players in camp right now. So about the camping situation, currently Coach Finidi obviously had the first official training with the guys this morning. I talked about that in the last video. And then of course the household names that we know of, the Kelechi, the Boniface, and all of these top players obviously showing up for that one to learn from Coach Finidi and his assistant coaches. Of course, the newly appointed assistant coaches, we saw all of them on display for that one. But after the training session, some of the senior players obviously took an excuse or took some time out to honor William Chus Ekong's charity match, for the foundation. Remember, I mentioned that it's also in the same venue, it's the same stadium that this whole event is happening with Nigeria's Super Eagles camp, but it's in another section. So William Chus Ekong apparently invited Wilfred Ndidi and Kelechi Iheanacho to join him in the charity match after the training. And of course, after the training with the team, these two guys, obviously went on and played a football match for that foundation launching, and it was a very interesting sight to see. Not just because of these players attending, but also because of the fact that we saw lots of top celebrities also attending the show and also putting on a show, themselves. The likes of Vincent Inyama, of course, Joseph Yobo, etc. We saw the legends of Nigerian Super Eagles come out in their numbers to actually support William Chus Ekong Foundation. And aside from the players themselves, because of course he's a footballer, you'd expect football colleagues to come in, but we also saw the likes of skit maker Sabinus also donning on a jersey to play in that one. The likes of Ademola Lookman, the musician, also played for that one. So it was generally a very beautiful sight to see, and I'm sure it's something that would really ease the pressure from some of these players that attended, the pressure of training and everything that they did during their time with Coach Finidi. But again, it was also very, very nice to see the likes of the new debutant for Nigerian Super Eagles. The guys are obviously going to make their debut with this match, hopefully, especially the likes of MPFL players, Sadiq Ismaila, obviously showing up for the first time, in the Nigerian Super Eagles camp, and then the likes of Kenneth Ibokwe and the likes. So generally, it was an all-round good feeling in the camp. The mixture of these guys that had already been there in the Nigerian Super Eagles with the new comers, and of course, the communication and the friendship with them. Even though some of them had not met themselves prior to this gathering, it was really, really nice, to see how these guys really interacted amongst themselves. So, they are holding their heads high up. They'll go again tomorrow and, continue the training from tomorrow. And hopefully by then, we will have had a complete, camp, a camp filled with the 23 players. Hopefully, Lookman will have, arrived by then. And then I'll definitely let you guys know of the update that will be emanating from the camp, from tomorrow. Aside from that, I also have a news regarding Victor Osimhen. Apparently, right now, it seems that Victor Osimhen's transfer is going to be a little bit more complicated than initially thought. During the season, even before the middle of the season, we already had the impression, or Napoli sent the impression that Osimhen was in his last season, that he was going to be sold, especially with the fact that he signed a new contract of 1 year, and then they had a huge transfer fee slapped on him because they were preparing him to be sold so that they can cash out on him. But right now, it seems that Osimhen's transfer may be more complicated, and he might, in fact, not even transfer. It's possible that he may not get a transfer, for next season because of his hefty price tag. Of course, they put a price tag. Napoli put a price tag of around 120 million euros thereabouts on his head, and right now a lot of clubs are having difficulties trying to meet this price tag. Chelsea is one of those clubs who are having a difficult time having a go at Osimhen because they want to offload a certain Romelu Lukaku, in their books before they can have enough money, to go for Osimhen. And of course, the fair play, the financial rule, of course, is on the neck of Chelsea, and they can't afford to just go out and sign Osimhen for that amount. The likes of PSG as well being another people who are slowing down at this minute. Arsenal seems to be the club that has higher interest in terms of signing Osimhen now, but the transfer fee is still very massive, and Osimhen's salary demand is something that might also be a stumbling block for this deal. But I'll follow this story, and hopefully, the best scenario happens for Osimhen, who also seemed like he wants out of Napoli and possibly to an English Premier League club side where he can have a new chance at playing his football. But that's the update, guys. Thank you for watching this one. Don't forget to like and share the video. Subscribe if you've not done so. React to any of the stories that you like. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves and have a lovely day.